Hi cuties, my name is Hanako Kozumi and this is the channel Nerdy Nekoma. Everything here is about Haikyuu chat stories and fanfic. Thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. And with that, welcome to today's video. It's called Flinching and it's about DaiSugaIwaOi. It follows directly after the Pretend to Get Beat Up series and is a new series in the same timeline, so I recommend you to watch that first so this all makes sense to you. And now, I hope you enjoy this video, though a little content warning for serious injuries and panic attacks or panic responses due to a previously mentioned event. If you still want to watch this, if you don't, that's completely fine, but if you still want to watch it, I hope you enjoy it. Good morning. He half whispered the words as he carefully opened the door while balancing a tray with food, water, and medicine in his hands. Suga was still asleep and lay curled up with his fist clenching around the blanket on the bed. Daichi's heart sank as he saw the tension in his whole body. Suga used to be very relaxed while sleeping, but lately, ever since the attack, he seemed to get nightmares. Yet, when one of them asked about it, he never gave a clear answer. Daichi sighed and placed the tray on the nightstand. It hurt him almost physically to see Suga like this, and he wished he could do more. Quiet sobs broke the silence, and suddenly tears were falling from the silver-haired's cheeks, and his body started trembling. Koji! Daichi was by his side in the blink of an eye and carefully shook him awake. Koji, it's okay. You're safe. Wake up, it's just a nightmare. His eyes shut open. They were full of panic and terror as he frantically scanned the room before they landed on Daichi. Suddenly, his breathing accelerated even more and he flinched. In his panicked state, he tried to back away, but it was too rushed for his injury, and he cried out when the pain flared up. Immediately, Daichi backed away to give him space. Suga's cry seemed to put a dagger right through his heart, and seeing the panic in his eyes, him being the reason it intensified, it was as if something inside him broke at the sight. Daichi. Yes, love, it's just me. He wanted to give him all the reassurance and love in the world, yet his voice sounded strained. I'm sorry. I thought... It's okay, don't worry. He wanted to comfort Suga, but didn't dare to move, afraid he might scare him again. He stayed by the side of the bed, hands slightly raised and shoulders slumped, instinctively making himself smaller as to not appear as a threat. The tension in the air was thick enough to slice it with a knife, fueled by each of their insecurities. It was Suga who broke it as he closed the distance between them and reached for Daichi. His side ached at the movement, but he didn't care, other than Daichi. Careful! The silver-haired's hands grabbed his shirt and pulled him closer, effectively hiding his face against the officer's chest. Daichi gently guided them to sit back down and held the other close until his breathing calmed. He caressed his back and rubbed soothing circles over the sore muscles. I'm sorry. I ruined your shirt. They chuckled slightly as a comfortable silence filled the room, only torn by the occasional sniffle from the injured. Stop apologizing. The t-shirt is the least of my concerns right now. Suga leaned against Daichi's shoulder, who had put an arm around him. His fingers traced tender patterns on the smaller's arm, and he recognized with relief how the tension in Suga's body slowly eased. A bit, however, remained. It had been like this ever since that day. Suga had always been a very calm person. Even the anxiety he struggled with sometimes was mostly internal, and if they wouldn't know him so well, his boyfriends might not even notice. Now, he was always on edge, as if he expected that guy to suddenly appear in every dark corner or behind him when he stopped looking at the mirror even for a second. It put a lot of stress on him and the others, who tried their best to help but felt useless for the most part. They needed to find a way to help him relax, to make him feel safe again, and if it was just for his injury, to get the chance to heal properly. Luckily, he always eased up after being held for a while. The first hours after they knew were hell, as they attempted to walk on eggshells around Suga as not to trigger a panic response. It took a lot of reassurance from the teacher to make them understand that as long as he knew it was them, he felt more than safe. The knowledge that none of them would ever hurt him was so deeply rooted in his heart and soul that even after everything he had been through, none of his boyfriends could be the reason for his panic. That was as long as they didn't tower over him right after he awoke from a nightmare. Daichi sighed. He messed up, royally. Hey, if I have to stop apologizing, you better stop constantly blaming yourself and quit being so overly cautious around me. He pouted, which made Daichi laugh. Suga joined and gave him a gentle smile. A real one. You always look right through me, don't you? That's my job. First as your setter, and now as your boyfriend, and maybe someday as your husband. Knowing when you doubt yourself so that I can help chase the thoughts away. Daichi leaned closer until their foreheads touched. I'm so lucky to have you. Suga hummed in agreement. Same goes for me. I couldn't. He took a deep breath, shaking slightly, and backed away a little to look him in the eyes. I couldn't do any of this without you. All of you. A single tear ran down his cheek and Daichi caught it before gently wiping it away. Good then that we always will be here for you, no matter what. The other smiled again, but this time it was far from his real smile. Far from the gentle kindness that immediately calmed everyone who saw it. Yet it was still familiar. Daichi had seen it before whenever Suga smiled through some kind of pain or struggle that was occupying his mind. Even when I'm a burden. Maybe even more than now. If it doesn't get better, but worse. What if the appointment today will reveal that the injury is worse than expected? What if my stupid actions will lead to... Yes. Daichi could see Suga slipping. Every word added another crack to his fractured heart upon seeing how much his boyfriend meant them. Even then. We will get through this, and I can promise you that you'll get better, and that we'll stay with you every bit of the way. The former setter took a shaky breath to calm himself. Thanks, Daichi. I needed that. He leaned down and pressed a kiss on Suga's forehead. Weren't you the one talking about marriage? I think promising to stay by each other's side even in tough times is the whole point of it. Yeah, you're probably right. He chuckled. Don't tell Toto just yet though. I'm afraid he might freak out with excitement and start planning already. Don't tell me what? Suga laughed. It completely ruined Oikawa's plan to sulk at the secrecy because the sound immediately wiped the pout from his face and made his heart flutter. Just that I plan on marrying you all someday. Oh damn, now you did it. Iwaizumi leaned casually in the doorframe as he observed the scene, specifically Oikawa trying to grasp what Suga just said. You want to... me? The setter looked completely overwhelmed and started tearing up a little before... Oh, Koshi! He threw himself around Suga's neck. So does that mean you want to marry me as well? Oikawa pulled back and grabbed Suga by his shoulders. Are you kidding me? Of course! 1,000 times yes. He looked him deeply in the eyes, so much love reflecting in his own. But just because you said it first, doesn't mean you will beat me to proposing to you. He jumped up again, suddenly fueled by new motivation and energy flooding his system. Great. Iwaizumi tried to look grumpy but failed, too in love with Oikawa's jolly nature and Suga's gentle character. Sorry. He smiled sheepishly, not sorry in the slightest. Nah, it's fine. I guess I just have to think fast. He gave them a playful smirk, very much glad that Oikawa had left the room already before he followed. He left his two very stunned boyfriends behind who stared at each other in disbelief before suddenly Suga started pouting. I thought I had the idea first. Daichi laughed and gently kissed the corners of his lips to kiss the pout away. You know how they are. Iwaizumi, no matter how much he denies it, is a romantic at heart, and Oikawa is dramatic enough to propose to us on live TV after he wins the Olympics. Oh god. He covered his face, which was quickly reddening at the thought. Oh come on, you would love it. Don't try to deny it. Iwaizumi and we would be the embarrassed ones. Suga let himself fall back onto the bed, but tensed when the pain flared up. That bad? He nodded slowly as he felt Daichi's finger ghosting over the bruised area, barely touching it. Don't worry, we'll bring you to a doctor in a few hours, and then you are going to be alright. Again, he nodded. His hand slowly searched for Daichi's, and he intertwined the fingers. Thank you. Anything for you, my love. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually planned on uploading the next part of the Drunk series today, but I got a bit distracted and I heard that you wanted more of this series, so yeah, here it is. And of course there are going to be more parts for the other ships for this, and then we slowly get to the interesting part where the storyline continues a bit, and well, it's going to get angsty, let me tell you so much. If you liked it, please consider leaving a like, because it really helps my channel grow. And if you want to see more of this and don't want to miss out on anything in the future, please consider subscribing, and now have a wonderful day.